K2 News. This is your voice, your vote.
And welcome back this morning, everybody. We have a new feature on K2 called Connect to Congress.
Local 12 is helping you connect to Congress.
Fox 25 is helping you stay connected to Congress.
It's time to connect to Congress once again.
We try to keep a very close look at our congressional delegations. We call it Connect to Congress.
Today I had the chance to speak to Congressman Tom Rice via satellite as part of our Connect to Congress series. I talked to the congressman about the shootings in Charleston. I understand that what happened has to be affecting you just as much as anybody else.
You know, my friend, it really is an amazing thing to see how it's affecting this country.
There is an epidemic of violence in this country, and it needs to be approached with a comprehensive program.
How much of the dialogue is the drought dominating in Washington?
Well, at least for the California delegation, it's dominating quite a bit. There's been a lot of amendments, a lot of legislation.
It still can be a gateway drug leading to other more serious, more dangerous drugs.
What do you think about the crowded GOP presidential field? Is this going to dilute the Republicans' message? Is it a good thing?
Look, I think competition is just fine. I'm not worried about a crowded field. It reminds me of the Kentucky Derby this year. We had a lot of good horses on the track.
If you can pass the qualifications in the Constitution to run for president, and you can drum up the support, then you can run for president, and that's exactly what Donald Trump is doing.
It shows that while I'm very conservative, I also have the ability to reach out to independents and to young people.
We're going to get serious about who can beat Hillary Clinton and at the same time protect America, and I am ready to be Commander-in-Chief on day one.
Do you see any immigration reform this year at all?
Not so sure. It'll be interesting to see. I think that question is better answered next year when the presidential election heats up. If my Republican colleagues don't get their act together and start promoting something that makes them look like they actually care about the Hispanic members of America, I think there's no chance at all for them to take the presidency.
There's two different philosophies. Do we have an open border or do we have a secure border? I'm of the one that we need to have a secure, sensible border.
On the Armed Services Committee, we are building up cyber forces as a domain of warfare.
Because a nuclear-armed Iran is the gravest threat we could face. This is a terrorist-sponsoring, anti-American regime that has the blood of thousands of Americans on its hand.
This is from Brian Jennings. It comes in through Twitter. He'd like to know this. There's been a massive Western effort to grab federal public lands and transition them to state control. He'd like to know what your response is. What can you tell Brian Jennings?
I've been opposed to that. I'm in favor of multiple use of our federal lands.
Congressman, before we leave you tonight, anything that you would like to share with your constituents tonight?
Trade's been awfully important to our region, to the port in Charleston, to our state. You know, we're second in the nation in per capita foreign direct investment.
Now, I know you spend a lot of time here, but you're in Washington right now. Is there any message you want to send to your constituents here in Tennessee?
It's an outstanding state to represent.
Despite our differences politically in this country, we should all feel very, very blessed that we live here.
And by the way, Pluto looks like a planet to me.
Good way to end.